of patrol officers that woke up this morning, like they do each and every morning, put on their uniform with a deep desire to keep their community safe. And what they did out here is nothing short of heroic.
Strong words there from Chief Manny Morales, who just took the podium to update the community on an incredible response all morning long here. As we continue to follow that breaking news in Miami and that new information, we know that 2 officers were shot. 4 other officers were shot at this morning when they responded.
NBC6 was first on the scene, and we have team coverage for you this midday from the scene to the hospital. So let's begin with Briana at the scene.
Well, we just learned from Chief Manny Morales that the shooter involved in this shooting that shot at 2 officers earlier this morning is now dead. They say his name is 27-year-old Mason Triana. He does have a history with Miami police, no prior convictions, but they have dealt with him in the past. I quickly want to show you where we are off of Northwest 17th Avenue and 26th Street. Right behind me in the distance, you can see the scene is starting to clear, but throughout the morning, this was flooded with several Miami police officers, including help from the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office. There was SWAT team, canines, drones, the chopper, you name it. They were here, dozens of officers here investigating. So let's talk about what we know, what happened here. What we're learning, Chief Morales told us earlier this morning, they responded to an abandoned car here at this intersection of Northwest 17th Avenue and 26th Street. They say there was no one around the car. They called a tow truck to come tow the car, and they cleared the scene. Moments later, minutes later, they said they received several shot spotter alerts. When they arrived, they found that same car riddled with bullets. At that same time, he says immediately a man began shooting at 2 officers. Those 2 officers were taken to Ryder Trauma Center. They were both shot in the leg, one in the knee, one in the ankle. They're both expected to be okay. Soon after that, Chief Morales says that man barricaded himself inside a home on this street between 14th and 15th Avenues. Throughout the morning, that man has been barricaded inside that home. Chief Morales says that his officers had been communicating with the man. He briefly came out and he began an exchange of gunfire with officers. Then he went back inside the home, and for quite some time, he was back inside there. I want to mention, throughout all of this, we were right here in the line of fire. In fact, when we first got here at this intersection, Northwest 17th Avenue, 26th Street, we were told to move immediately because there was still an active shooter with a rifle. We were possibly going to get shot at if we stayed right here in this intersection. So we got pushed back just a little bit. Now, once those second shots were fired, actually, we were pushed back here to the side, and in that came another gentleman. He was driving in a car, and police quickly took him out of the car, took him into custody. We have since learned that that man was involved in that initial shooting. Now, Chief Morales just told us moments ago that this began with a dispute between siblings. That man that came back was one of those siblings. He is okay, but he has been brought in for questioning. It was his brother, he says, that was the shooter in the situation. Again, 27-year-old Mason Triana. But in that, we were forced to take cover as well as police quickly apprehended him, took him into custody. We do have video of that as well, where you can see him and us hiding behind cars as they took him into custody. But throughout the morning, I mean, police have been here combing this whole area and trying to get that gentleman out of that car. So again, 27-year-old Mason Triana. Now, we were just told, Chief Morales just updated us that right before 11 a.m. they sent a drone into the home, and that is where they found him dead. They said he died with a gunshot wound. They don't know if that was due to the exchange of gunfire with officers or if it was a self-inflicted gunshot wound. So many details. They're still working to investigate. But the good news this afternoon is that those 2 officers that were shot are both in good condition. They are at Ryder Trauma Center. Chief Morales says that he commends them for their professionalism throughout all of this. But I actually want to toss it to my colleague, Julia Bagg. She's outside Ryder Trauma Center right now with the latest. Hey, Julia.
Briana, so glad you're safe. Excellent work out there. Thank you. Here is where those 2 injured officers were rushed by fellow officers to the Ryder Trauma Center here at Jackson Memorial Hospital. You're looking at the entrance here. Many officers from various agencies around South Florida have been coming and going, paying their respects to a female officer and a male sergeant. who are in doctor's care at this point and are expected to be okay. Let's show you what's been happening just over the past few hours right here at Jackson Memorial Hospital, with motor officers from the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office pulling up, showing their support here outside the entrance to the Ryder Trauma Center. Miami-Dade Sheriff's deputies joining officers from Hialeah, from North Miami, just some of the agencies that we have seen here in the past few hours. Dozens of police units have been parked all around the surrounding areas as officers have shown up to show their support. Let me bring you back out live, because this is clearing right now. This is Miami Police Department's crime scene investigators. You may wonder, why would they come here to Jackson Memorial Hospital? And I'll explain why. We know, as I mentioned, that those 2 injured officers were taken here by fellow officers. And so they were rushed in there, and they were brought by car. So just a short while ago, we actually saw crime scene investigators taking pictures of these 2 vehicles. Now, it's not confirmed, but those may indeed be the actual vehicles that those officers were brought here in. Again, one of them shot in the ankle, one of them shot in the knee, according to the chief of police. And so certainly some relief, as we've been speaking with officers here who know that things could have been different, and they're so thankful that the officers being cared for right now will make it home today to their families. Live this afternoon outside Jackson Memorial Hospital, Julia Bagg, NBC6 News.
And from Jackson Memorial Hospital, we will take you back to the scene. Julia, Briana, thank you. Again, this is a live image from overhead. So now we get a bird's eye view here of the house where SWAT, where City of Miami, where sheriff's offices, or where their negotiators all responded and surrounded this morning. This is the house, presumably, of Mr. Triana, the suspect here, who police say fired at 2 officers, fired at 4 other officers, as we just heard from Julia. Those 2 officers, thankfully, are recovering. We heard from Chief Morales that they're expected to be okay and in very good spirits. But there you could see the damage there, pulling down that fence. Maybe that was an awning from overhead as well. We still see one of those armored vehicles. But again, this is the house where police responded all day long. This is obviously an evolving story that we will continue to stay on top of all morning long here. So stay with NBC6 on the air and across our digital platforms as we continue to follow the very latest information here at the NBC6 newsroom, on air and across our digital platforms as well.